Ladies and gentlemen, the meeting this evening is threefold. We'll first have a public hearing regarding the 183rd Street West Tax Incremental Financing District. Secondly, as required by law, we will have a Bond Issue Notification Act hearing. And lastly, the village board meeting. So we'll start off this evening with the 183rd Street West Tax Increment Financing District. Our Deputy Village Clerk, Narissa Major, is filling in today. Thank you for being here. Call to order, please. Roll call, please.
Trustee Willis. Here. Trustee Harris Jones.
Here.
Trustee Heiferman.
Here.
Trustee Roman.
Here.
Trustee Open. Here. President Open.
Here. This TIF is designed for redevelopment of two key parcels, the Brunswick Zone, former Brunswick Zone, and the current Great American Bagel Plaza. Our goal is to return these to the tax rolls. Phil McKenna from Ryan and Company is here. If you could please explain the overview of the TIF district.
Thank you, Mayor. Thank you, members of the council. This public hearing is about a tax increment financing district. So just to pause for a minute, well, go to the next slide. These are generally the things we're going to talk about quickly. But what is TIF? TIF stands for Tax Increment Financing District. The best way I find to explain TIF is that everybody pays the same amount of taxes, goes through the same process with the assessor, the same process with respect to tax rates. But when the taxes are paid in a TIF district, instead of all going into one pot, they go into two pots. The first pot represents what taxing districts are now collecting based upon the assessment of property. And the second pot is the TIF increment. That's the amount that will be available once the TIF is completed and private investment occurs. And what you will see with this TIF is that it's all about private investment because there isn't any there isn't any money in there right now to get it. So that's what TIF is all about. TIF also requires a but-for requirement, which is one thing that we also looked at. Is there a reason to think that but for putting a TIF in place, which is an incentive to development, that but for that, it won't likely happen. And in our judgment, that's the case. So we go to the next slide. TIF is built on the comprehensive plan. Why a new TIF? Well, the parcels here, the two parcels in question are currently in the excuse me, are currently in the Kedzie Gateway TIF district. When the Kedzie Gateway TIF district was created, the parcels were privately owned and they were relatively high assessed valuation. Somebody really wants me badly. Apologies. Okay, so when the Kedzie Gateway TIF was created, the parcels were privately owned and they were relatively high equalized assessed valuation. Since then, the village has acquired the properties and recently sold the Brunswick Zone big lots to a private developer. Both parcels are now tax exempt, and as a result, they don't produce any kind of tax increment, any kind of property taxes whatsoever. So the proposed TIF captures the lower valuation, the lower equalized assessed valuation. Prior owners, should be pointed out, paid no property taxes. The village seeks to redevelop the properties to get them on the tax rolls and to be able to provide an incentive to the current developers they're negotiating with in order to accomplish that. This is what I would call an unusual TIF district. Typically, a TIF district is set up for project orientation, industrial project, commercial project. This TIF is set up in order to take something that was not expected to happen and change it for the betterment. We could go to the next one. Okay. This is at the intersection of 183rd and Kedzie. The map's pretty straightforward. The act requires that the TIF district be at least an acre and a half, and we could find an acre and a half easily on that, and those two parcels. We go to the next one. As we said, the backbone is the comprehensive plan. In fact, one of the findings that we have made in our reports is that this proposed TIF district is in consort with the village's existing comprehensive plan. In particular, the second bullet point, providing for the assembly or coordination of public, private, and public property for viable redevelopment projects, is something that's called for in the comprehensive plan. And implementing municipal utility improvements is also something that's specifically called for in the comprehensive plan. The next one. The next couple slides are just an articulation of village strategies that come out of the comprehensive plan. Once you have the comprehensive plan in place, that's for the village as a whole. You still need to come up with specific strategies that are pertinent to any particular area. These are the strategies that we were able to articulate coming from the comprehensive plan. Careful consideration of the proposals for development or redevelopment of development sites is one of the things that's down there, and that's one of the things that's first and foremost for the village to do. We go to the next one. The TIF designation qualification process is such that, again, starting it has to be consistent with the comprehensive plan. It must meet certain criteria under a series of options in the TIF district. We found this area qualified as a conservation area. Conservation area says more than 50% of the buildings have to be 35 years of age or older. We've got two structures here. Both of them are 35 years of age or older, so pretty easy finding. The act then says you need to meet 3 out of 13 qualification factors in order to satisfy the conditions for a conservation area. We go to the next page. These are the 13 factors. We highlighted the factors that were found during our study of this. There's detailed information that's available upon inspection if anyone wants to see what they are. Obviously, excessive vacancies and obsolescence stand out here. There's also been a lag and decline in equalized assessed valuation relative to this consumer price index. So those are the factors. We go to the key elements of the plan. And again, the plan has been on file for some period of time. Plan's about 50 pages long. The base equalized assessed valuation for the TIF district would be a slightly over $3 million. That's current 2022 EAV. The projected equalized assessed valuation upon completion is approximately $10 to $15 million. The maximum term for the TIF budget is $17.5 million, and it's over a 23-year term. And the next slide highlights what's in the budget. As you can see, the two of the largest components of the budget are utility improvements at $5.5 million, land acquisition and relocation at 3.5, and site preparation at 3.5. Those are the expected uses in order to make the private investment happen within this TIF district. These numbers can be changed at the will of the board. However, the $17.5 million is a not to exceed number. And I emphasize it's over a 23-year period of time. It's difficult to articulate exactly what that will be, but all projects that would come under the TIF would have to come before the village board for specific approval in any case. If we go to a couple of highlights of the TIF budget, some maximum expenditures, size to accommodate the current potential redevelopment requirements. It's a 23-year budget, not an annual. And the TIF eligible costs include public improvements as well as potential incentives for private development. As we showed, the largest single component is the utility improvements. And if we go to the next one, the process and next steps, there's a whole series of notices to be posted, of notices to go in newspapers. Some of you may be here because you got a notice that you're 750 feet within the boundaries of this TIF district. That doesn't mean anything other than you're getting a notice, an awareness that this TIF district is occurring. Public hearing is tonight. The village board, after taking into consideration the public hearing comments and all the other comments of the joint review board and others, has its wait 14 days and not more than 90 days before they can consider adoption of the TIF district. If the TIF district is adopted on an annual basis, a joint review board, which is other taxing districts who comprise the area, an annual joint review board meeting would be held. There's a state audit that would be filed. And any action, again, that the village board would take with respect to private redevelopment agreements would have to come back on a specific basis to the village board. So it's a very open process. It's been open thus far in terms of the notices, and it continues to be open throughout. Mr. Mayor, that's all I have.
Thank you. Our Economic and Community Development Director, Angela Maceris, if you could give us a summary of the Joint Review Board meeting, please.
The TIF Joint Review Board met and they reviewed the proposed 183rd West TIF. This consisted of the other taxing bodies, which were the Public Library, Rich Township, School District 161, Homewood Flossmoor High School District, and staff from the village. And they did vote unanimously to recommend the approval of the redevelopment plan and the project for the village's proposed 183rd West TIF district.
Thank you. Comments from the public? Anyone have any comments or questions with regard to this TIF? Yes, ma'am.
Regard to what?
This TIF. This
No.
text. Okay. Okay, board comments. Trustee Willis,
No, thank you for the information.
Trustee Harris Jones,
Thank you, Angela, for the information.
Trustee Hyperman,
I have no questions.
Trustee Roman,
No, I have no questions.
Trustee Opeth.
No, very succinctly done. Thank you.
This is a necessary project that will lend itself toward redevelopment of the entire west portion of Homewood. We're eagerly looking forward to it. With that, may I have a motion to adjourn, please?
So moved. Second,
It's been moved by Trustee Hyperman, seconded by Trustee Roman. Roll call, please.
Trustee Willis,
Aye.
trustee Harris Jones,
Aye.
trustee Hyperman,
Aye.
trustee Roman,
aye.
trustee Opeth.
Aye.
We're adjourned from the TIF hearing. The public hearing regarding bond notification. Roll call, Mrs. Major.
Trustee Willis,
Here.
trustee Harris Jones,
Here.
trustee Hyperman,
Here.
trustee Roman,
Here.
trustee Opeth,
Here.
president Holcomb.
Here. First discussion is our finance director, Amy Zakowski.
Village staff is recommending selling general obligation limited tax bonds for the purpose of financing the costs of capital expenditures within the village. A legal notice regarding the date and time of tonight's public hearing was published in the Daily Southtown on July 11. So first, we'll kind of walk through some background information to help understand the village's ability to borrow funds. So as a non-home rule community, Homewood is limited in the amount and the frequency that it can issue non-referendum bonds. We're restricted to issuing a non-referendum general obligation bond not to exceed 0.5% of the equalized assessed valuation, or EAV. The village is also limited to using the debt service extension base to pay back the principal and interest due on the bond. The debt service extension base amount essentially is a cap on the annual amount the village can place on the tax levy to pay back the non-referendum debt. Through the board approval of the 5-year capital improvement plan in April, it was determined that the village would issue a bond in the fall of 2024, and the bond issuance was expected to be approximately $2 million. However, with the 2023 being a reassessment year for the south suburbs, the village saw a significant increase in EAV over the prior year. This gives the village the ability to issue a larger bond of $2,611,269. The village's current 5-year capital plan reflects over $2.3 million of projects to be funded by this current general obligation bond. We expect capital project costs to rise approximately 5% annually, so the additional bond proceeds will help to provide a cushion to cover these rising costs. The bond funds will be spent on public infrastructure improvements and acquisition of capital equipment, such as public safety equipment, information technology, vehicles, facility improvements, and infrastructure projects. Of course, capital priorities can and most likely will change over the next few years. So staff, along with the board, will reevaluate the projects to be completed using the bond proceeds on an annual basis as we go through each budget process. Being an older community, Homewood has various infrastructure, vehicle equipment, and critical capital project needs that must be addressed. The funding required to address these needs can be difficult to identify since the items and projects generally have higher costs. This proposed bond sale will assist the village in meeting its capital needs as laid out in our 5-year capital improvement plan. The village works closely with our municipal bond advisor, Spear Financial, throughout the bonding process. We have Rafaelita McKenzie here tonight from Spear, so both she and I would be happy to take any questions from the public or board this evening.
Bring it on up.
Come on up, Rafaelita.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Rafaelita McKenzie. I am Senior Vice President at Spear Financial. I've been working at Spear now for 27 years, still trying to grasp that. So I've been working with the village for quite some time. I work with local governments like yourself, so there's no conflict of interest. Madison, I'm all over this Illinois. We are the primary and most active municipal advisor in Illinois. So I'm all over the place. Joliet, my client, Elgin, Oak Grove. And we do school districts and counties as well. Park districts, sanitary districts, fire districts, some of everyone. But just wanted to give a little bit of my background. I've been doing this for a very long time. So in case anyone had questions about that. And in terms of the financing, this is a financing that the village has done over the last several years. It's been every 3 years, I would say, except for last year we missed, but the village had other plans at that time. But as mentioned, it's a short financing. In this case, we are looking since the village, let me start over. Over the last several years, the village has issued about 2 million or somewhere about there, maybe 1.9, but closer to 2 million that's available to them. This year, as Amy mentioned, because of the EAV, there's a little more available. So we're looking to grab the entire amount. And so that will allow the village to go into a 4th year to maximize your cap to get that 2.6 million that's available. Now, I know there may have been questions as to why is there a not to exceed of 2.8. And that's because when we started the planning process, we had numbers that were preliminary, such as the Cook County EAV, which is subject to change. We didn't want to lock ourselves out of it, so we created a little bit of a room in case there was any change in the EAV, then the village would have the ability to maximize those dollars that's available to you. Again, if you don't maximize, or let's say you decide you want to just do $2 million this year, you can certainly capture it a couple years later, the preceding year at a later time. But again, it just depends on what the village's needs are at this time and whether or not you want to do the 2 million or the 2.6.
What is the current market for bonds?
Bonds are selling where the interest rates are volatile last several months, but capital needs are there. And so, I'm working on, for example, right now, Elgin 519, $50 million. Our market is, small. It could be as small as 500 or even less. We do some park districts that are much smaller.
Interest rates.
Yes, but yes, interest rates are about, for your bond issue, given the length, 3 to 4 years, about 4%.
In the past, we've gone to private placement. Is that
Yes.
benefit? Can we do that again and get a more favorable interest rate?
You can, and actually.
If you can explain what private placement is.
Yes. So when we started this bond process, we were looking at doing a public offering, which is a competitive bidding process. With a competitive bidding process, what that means is we have a Spear auction platform where an offering document is prepared This offering document is a document which includes information about the village. Everything you need to know, including employment, housing, the financials. If any investor picks up this document, it's a document that can tell you everything they need to know. And so what would happen is on this platform, all the bidders are able to, who sign up to bid on your bonds, meaning investors are able to bid on your bonds. We have two types of platforms. We have an open auction and a closed auction platform. So that's something that we can talk about if that's the way you choose to go. With a closed auction, let's say you have 4 trustees here and you decide you want to bid on those bonds. You may bid a 3.8, someone may bid a 4, someone a 4.10, and someone a 4.5. The lowest interest rate is the best bidder. With the closed auction, you put in that one bid and that's the end of it. With an open auction, you put in your bid, but you can see that you're third place, or you can see that you're first place. If you want Homewood bond and you're very much in love with Homewood and you're aggressive about this bond issue, then you as an investor can say, okay, I really want this bond, so I'm going to improve my rate, which I did at maybe 4.10. You improve it and it shows that you're now 4%, and now you're 3.75. So now you're in the lead. So you see your rank when you're in the open auction case until there's a running time, 15 seconds, the way the bidding platform works, and then it ends. But again, the same principle applies where the lowest interest rate is the best bid. With the private placement, which is what I've done before I came here today, we seek out a number of local banks that are willing to do the private placement issue. And I contacted about 6 private placement banks, at which point we gather preliminary information in terms of, 1, are you willing to do these bonds for the village, and what that interest rate would be like. And so we then compare the cost of doing an offering, a public offering, or a private placement. With a public offering, we typically go to the rating agency. In this case, the village has Standard & Poor's rating service, or is rated by that rating agency. So that's an additional fee. So that's something that we would now eliminate with the private placement, which does not include that fee. So again, choosing either option is based on what the village wants to do in terms of, do you want to go for that bond rating number 1, number 2, or are you more focused on reducing your fee and you just want to stick with a private placement? So we look at all of those factors and then make a final decision.
Our last 3 issues were private placement. BMO Harris, unheard of rate 0.8 was our last one. Prior to that, it was Bank of Park Ridge was 1.8. And the one before that was Bank of Park Ridge. I don't remember what the rate was. We've been very successful with it. We avoid the cost of having to have underwriters come in and look over our bond rating over and over, because the banks are pretty good at evaluating that.
Yes.
So I certainly would like to see us go private placement. That's the way to go. Get a more favorable rate, play the banks against one another. I didn't say that.
And well, I can tell you, because I've done my homework here, but right now, and of course, because you have a relationship with BMO, we do want to include them in the mix, and I did reach out to BMO, and they gave rates between 3.75 and 4.10 for the 3 years. Old Plank Trail was 4.25. Time Bank, which was prior Park Ridge Bank, is between 4.5 and 4.95. But again, the point here is I've already gotten some indicative rates, and I'm working with your staff to ensure that the village gets the lowest rate possible and
Absolutely.
the lowest cost. And that's why I'm here,
Good.
to ensure that.
And we appreciate that as well,
Yes.
both you and Amy working on that.
Yes, yes.
Okay. Any comments or questions from anyone in the audience with regard to this proposed bond issue? Elderly man back there? No.
You look better.
I was kidding. I was kidding. I had to do that to you. Board comments? I should ask, has the clerk received any written comments? Okay, board comments, trustee Willis.
Want to thank you both for this presentation. I think it's again Amy for even before answering my questions and explaining it. Appreciate it.
Mr. Harris Jones.
Thank you, Amy, and you,
Sure, Recolita McKenzie.
Ms. McKenzie, thank you for all of
You're welcome.
your information. It's been very thorough. We appreciate it.
Yes, and keep in mind that you may just see me when you issue bonds, but as Amy know, I'm available anytime throughout the year. Yes, to answer any questions that come up.
Little stock market advice too? No. Trustee Heiferman.
Thank you very much.
Sure, no
And thank you especially for the guidance that you've given us along.
Trustee Roman.
Yes, thank you very much. I mean, we have the capital project, we have the need for the bond. So thank you very much for all of your work on the back end to make sure that we get the best rate we possibly
Of
can.
course.
Trustee Open.
Yes, I just want to say, first of all, thank you so much for your time, Ms. McKenzie, and with the Finance Director Zukowski, the meetings that we've had have been very helpful in understanding this whole process. So I just want to make sure I understand, about 3.5%, 4%, that's probably where we're gonna hover over. We're not
Yes,
gonna
it-
get that lower rate anywhere. Are those days just
let-
gone?
Listen, I know, and I tell my clients this over and over again, those rates were never here to stay.
Until my
It
clients.
was, I just remember at one point rates were so low and underwriters and bidders wouldn't even buy bonds. There was a quiet period because they thought the rates were artificial. So the 0.8.
It was nice to have had it. It was wonderful.
Because I've been doing this for so long, I've been able to see the market move in different ways. I remember back in 2008 when we had the crash. I mean, I've seen a lot of the movements, and so where rates are now, it, to me, and this is just my opinion, it seemed we're back to normal rate where rates were. If people who are coming into the finance industry are used to seeing in the last 5 years, it's a shock to them, right? But for someone like myself who have been doing this for a long time, I've seen how the market moves. And so, yeah, this is, and you know, it's crazy, but again, this is also an election year. And that's something to keep in mind with interest rates.
Okay.
And so we saw a little bit of a movement this last week, but again, these are just some indicative rates we got from these banks. We are doing our homework and hopefully they don't shift too much when it's time for us to make the final pricing.
Okay, wonderful. Thank you for explaining that. Thank you.
What is the time frame for issuing these? November, you're talking?
So if everyone's in agreement to move forward, we would be coming back on September tenth with the ordinance for approval, and then timeline, the proceeds we'd expect to receive by the end of September, early October.
Staff had to convince me on this. I abhorred that. I like the fact that we were a debt-free community for a little over a year. But the capital needs of the community dictate this, and you've twisted my arm and I'm going along with it. So with that being said, all persons desiring to be heard have been given an opportunity to present oral and written testimony with respect to the proposed issuance of the bonds. May I have a motion to adjourn this session, please?
So moved.
Second.
It's been moved by trustee Opitz, seconded by trustee Roman. Roll call, please.
Trustee Willis. Aye. Trustee Harris Jones.
Aye.
Trustee Hyperman.
Aye.
Trustee Roman. Aye. Trustee Opitz.
Aye.
We stand adjourned from that hearing. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
And now welcome to the village board meeting of July 23rd. Please join us in our pledge of allegiance. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Roll call, Mrs. Major.
Trustee Willis. Here. Trustee Harris Jones. Here. Trustee Hyperman.
Here.
Trustee Roman. Here. Trustee Open.
Here.
President Hopewell.
Here, representing staff this evening, to my left, our village manager Napoleon Haney, to my right, our village attorney Chris Cummings. To the audience's right, our police chief Denise McGrath. It's still our finance director Amy Zukowski, our community and economic development director Angela Maceras, our public works director Josh Berman, and our assistant village manager Terrence Aqua. The minutes of July 9th, may I have a motion? Oh, any comments or questions?
Nothing for me.
None.
Nothing.
May I have a motion to approve the minutes, please?
So moved.
Second.
Been moved by trustee Hyperman, seconded by trustee Harris Jones. Roll call, please.
Trustee Willis. Aye. Trustee Harris Jones.
Aye.
Trustee Hyperman.
Aye.
Trustee Roman. Aye. Trustee Open.
Abstain.
The minutes are approved. The claims list in the amount of $413,558.64. Comments or questions, trustee Willis?
No.
Trustee Harris
Nothing
Jones.
for me.
Trustee
I have
Hyperman.
no questions.
Trustee Roman.
Nothing.
Trustee Opit.
Nothing.
May I have a motion to approve the claims list, please?
So. Second.
Moved by trustee Willis, seconded by trustee Roman. Roll call, please.
Trustee Willis. Aye. Trustee Harris Jones.
Aye.
Trustee Hyperman.
Aye.
Trustee Roman. Aye. Trustee Open.
Aye.
The claims list is approved. Of that claims list of almost $414,000. 3 items comprise the majority of that list. Our second quarter payment to ECOM, our Fire and Police Dispatch Center, was $96,000. Our payment to Thorn Creek Sanitary District was $87,000. And sidewalk replacement and repair was $56,000. That came to $239,000, or 58% of that claims list. Hear from the audience. If anyone in the audience would like to address the board on any subject not on the agenda, please raise your hand. Yes, ma'am, come on up.
Glad you said not on the agenda, because, well, there's only one item on your agenda that I am interested in. And I
Well-
only have to accidentally notice that when I pulled up the agenda to see at which point I had an opportunity to speak. If I had to let you know that I wanted to speak before you gave me the opportunity.
For the record, your name, please.
Oh, for the record, and that's why I'm here, for the record. My name is Laura Alexander, and I live at 913 Garden Lane. And I've only been there for 3 years, about 4 years now. I moved there in May of 2020 to age in place. I found out in October of 2020 that a casino was next to my patio. That's basically kind of like why I'm here. And in the plans for that casino, a road is currently being built as we stand here, or almost finished. I had to write down what I wanted to say before I forgot it. On July 18th and 19th, we had the best weather ever. And I had an opportunity in almost like 3 years to open my doors and windows to get some fresh air in my house. Because prior to that, they were building the casino and I had dust for days, so I couldn't open anything. Those 2 days, I was able to open my doors and windows. As I was sitting near my patio reading, I began to smell these fumes, and they irritated my eyes and my throat. They were installing this new road. How do I know? I don't know, except I hear the trucks and I look and I see what is going on. I had to close the windows because I didn't want to inhale those fumes or whatever they used to build the road. The next day, the same thing happened. Only there was an addition there, that there was a truck with diesel fuel. So I'm inhaling all of these fumes. Okay? So that invaded my pleasure state of being, pleasurable state of being. Now, I am here because I want to go on record that should I develop any eye problems or respiratory problems, I wanted to be on record that's where I am claiming it started. And I'm concerned because it's my health. I'm a person over 80 years old. So I must be concerned about me. I can't be concerned about the casino per se. My health is important to me. That's the first thing I want to address here. Second thing I want to address is the stoplight on 175th Street at the end of the road that they are currently installing. We know that they're going to put in a new stoplight, and that is the plan, the way I understood it from 2020. And I'm concerned because where I live, in order to enter into my space, there is a drive-in near State Farm. The stoplight is right next to it. My concern is when all of this ball gets together and it starts rolling, how am I going to enter and exit my place safely? Because when the stoplight stops for one group, I can't get out. If it stops on one group, I'm sorry, east and west, I'm going to have a difficult problem trying to go east, depending upon how they install those stoplights and the timing, because there will be nothing for us to come out of our place safely. Going west will probably be easier to enter and exit that place. So I want to know, and I like to know the plans and where I can get that, on what is the status of that stoplight now? How has the traffic been monitored? How have they decided to time the lights that are there in conjunction with 175th and Halsted? Okay, I'm really concerned about that. Okay, that's my second thing.
You're running out of time.
Okay, well, my next thing dovetails with that. I want to know what you guys are planning. I'm sorry. I want to know what is being done with item number 11G on your agenda.
11.
G.
Okay, we'll get to that.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you, Ms. Alexander. And who should be, would you get back? Our village manager will get back to you.
Okay, I thank you very much. I did put my phone with them, but not mine.
Don't give it in public.
No, I should not really.
Okay.
But not myself.
Okay.
Because people are nosy.
Yes, ma'am. Come right on. And for the record, your name, please.
My name is Tasia Little for the record, and I have a quick question before starting. Is there a way that I can hand you out, you guys, board, anything? Is that a way I can do that?
Sure.
Okay, before I start, I know I don't have that much time.
You can just give it to trustee Willis and she can pass it on down.
That's it. Here, you take one of these. Okay.
Ma'am, what is your name?
Tasia Little. Yes. Okay. Okay, well, hello. Like I said before, my name is Tasia Little. And I know you probably wondering why I'm here and why I'm here. So I'm going to first explain who I am. My name is Tasia Little and I own Mr. Boaz here in downtown Homewood. So a little background really quick. Over the course of my life, I had a lot of successes. And just to give you a background of who I am, of what I've done, I have attended St. John Lutheran School. I graduated from high school, number 10 out of my class, senior class president, all conference in volleyball, 4 years on varsity. 2 of those years, I was the captain. Let me see some other accolades. I had the highest GPA for science in my school. And I went off to college. I graduated from there with my degree in biology and worked my way up to be a chemist. So I now, like I said before, I am a business owner. So as I was working as a chemist, I also partnered in a business owner here in downtown Homewood. But before I get to that, well, I got to that already. So my passion for fashion was a thing for me. So that's what I do. I'm a seamstress. And I started my business in 2015 and I got my brick and mortar down here in 2019. And I love Homewood and everything it has to offer. So just to go back really quick, I'm not trying to tell my age, okay? But when Karate Kid first opened, they had their first class. My mom enrolled me into the class there. And so, of course, we went in, we did what we had to do, and we had to go to tournament. So with the tournament, I ended up winning the tournament at their first class. They didn't have trophies, so they gave me a 2-liter Pepsi, and I was happy. I didn't have a problem. And so I'm like, I was so elated. As a child, I was so excited, you know. But with that, I believe it shaped me. It shaped me for the successes that I have going on now in my life. And I just want to kind of read. I don't even know.
We have a limited time.
I know.
so
Okay,
please.
I'm so sorry. So I'll skip to that. I skipped that. I wanted to kind of go into my business and my business plan, but I'm gonna do my business first. My business is an upscale clothing company for men and women. Our clothing is strategically designed to help build confidence and character in our consumers. Our formal wear consists of handcrafted bow ties, handkerchiefs, gowns, suits, waistcoats for men and women. Our company also specializes in professional level alterations. Within the last 3 years, we've added an anchor store called MB, which houses our casual collections and one-of-a-kind pieces. And we are currently online store, and we are also our physical store here downtown Homewood. So let me just get to the point. So the why I'm here. I'm here because the same place that gave me the confidence, the same place that birthed confidence in me, I'm asking that place that I'm allowed to reside in that place to birth confidence in my interns. I also have an academy, which it all explains in my business plan. I have an academy and I house currently 7 interns. My first year in 2019, I had 6 interns from Homewood Flossmoor, and this year I have 7. I've talked to the vice principal, James of Homewood Flossmoor, and I'm going to be working with their curriculum so that their students can be one of like my intern. But the problem is I don't have the space. And I'm on the 2nd floor of 2023 Ridge Road, and I don't have the space. And I heard about 2018 Ridge Road. And I'm just asking, could you guys reconsider your decision on who is housed at 2018 Ridge Road, where Karate Kid used to reside? And that's why I'm here. And that's what I'm asking you guys. My proposal is attached. Everything you guys need is available to you.
You had come in and talked to me on a
I
Saturday.
sure did. I sure did. Yes, I did.
I didn't know you were involved in karate. I would have been more respectful. But be that as it may, I knew you were looking for more space. At
Yes.
that time, you wanted to go into the first floor of that building.
Yes.
And the owner of the building happened to walk in when you were there.
Yes.
And I don't know if you've had any success in talking to him.
So with with our building 2025 Bridge Road is going to be a hot dog. They have already committed to a hot dog.
No, the building you're in and
That's it.
the office building you're in.
That's the office building that I'm in. The first floor is 2025, and then it's like 2023. I'm on the 2nd floor.
And
But
there's going to be a hot dogs, isn't it?
yes, that's what I was.
On that building?
It's Vicky's.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
And so I was just inquiring for the location.
Yeah,
You guys can.
we've made a commitment to the Mongolian barbecue. We have a contract pending with them at this time. So I'm being perfectly candid with you.
Yes.
So be happy to work with you on some other space. Come in
Okay.
on another Saturday.
Okay, sounds
Okay,
good.
I'd appreciate it.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Miss Little.
Thank you.
You know, can
Yes,
I
sir.
also add,
Yes.
because, and we know each other now.
Yes, ma'am.
I can definitely assist. I know that we're gonna be working together because you're part of the HBA.
Yes.
And based on the wonderful information that you have here, we can identify and work with Ms. Mazzaro as to where we could find a place for you. Okay,
Okay.
we don't want to lose you.
Thank you
Okay.
so much. Thank you. Thank you. I
Yeah,
appreciate
I'll
it.
look for you on a Saturday.
Okay, no problem.
Okay.
Thank you.
Is there anyone else who would like to address the board this evening? If not, we do not have a Meet the Merchant, but you could fill in for the Meet the Merchant this evening. Perfectly all right.
Thank you.
Now our Assistant Village Manager, Terrence Aqua, is going to give us a brief presentation on the RAVE communication system. What is RAVE?
Oh, you're gonna find out tonight. Good evening, Mayor Hofield, members of the board, general public. I'm here today to discuss RAVE / Smart 911. So hope you guys are ready to learn about this awesome technology we're about to roll out. So RAVE is a mass critical communication system. So whenever there's some mass communication we need to send out, we can do that via text, via phone, via email. And so this is a great way to get emergency notifications out and have people be aware of what's going on. And so to give some background on how we got here, Homewood is a part of ECOM, that's our 911 dispatch center. And so it serves a lot of the bordering communities, Flossmoor, Hazelcrest, Country Club Hills. And so we're in the process of merging that all together. And so ECOM, everybody came together as a group and decided to go with RAVE 911. Previously, we had Code Red, but RAVE Communications gives us the ability to do quite a bit more than Code Red was able to do. And it came at a very affordable price. And so I want to go into how it works. So basically, you craft a message. This morning, I was able to work with our police department and literally took 5 minutes to go over how to do it. And I appreciate you, Chief McGrath. It was real simple. So you craft a message, you basically state how you want to shoot it out, whether it's by text, email, phone. Once you do that, select an area. This is what separates RAVE from a lot of its other competitors. In my previous positions, I've had to work in public works where we'd have water main breaks and we'd have to go door to door and it would just affect everybody. Everybody would be up in arms. With this, we can geographically pinpoint where we want to send the message. So if it's only affecting your street, we're only going to send it to your street. And so this can go for road closures, this can go for boil orders, anything that's happening in the village, we're able to pick a defined area and take care of it. Lastly, just hit send. It's that simple. So we're trying to make it quick. Most times people have to come to our Facebook. They have to go to Village Hall. We're coming to you. Anything that's happening, this is our way to be transparent. Since I've been here in the village, I see that that is something that is stressed in every board meeting and every meeting we have is transparency. And so this is our effort to keep everybody in the loop. So in order to sign up for RAVE 911, for RAVE Communications, you have to do it through Smart 911. So Smart 911 is the website you would go to sign up for RAVE. What's interesting about Smart 911 is the ability to give personal information. And so that was one of the big factors ECOM was interested in when they went with Smart 911 and RAVE. So let's say you have a heart problem, a heart condition. When you call 911, the dispatchers will know everything that you have going on if you put in your previous ailments. If you're capacitated and you can't move, you can put that all in there. If you have pets, if you have, dogs that might be a little bit, on edge, you can put all of that in there and make the, respondents aware of everything that's going on. And that's super helpful in an event of emergency. And so it's that simple. You just go online, just fill in your name, email address, password, and then after that, you just select Homewood as the subscription you want to join. And so what's next? So according to ECOM right now, we have about 1,491 subscribers. I know that's not a lot considering that Homewood has about a population of 19,000, but that's the fun part. So over the next couple of months, staff will be going to your doorstep. We will be at all the events. We will be at, if there's an event, you name it, we're going to be there because we understand how impactful this is. And we're really going to make the effort to try to get to everybody and sign everybody up. So this past Friday was the first time we shot out a notice, and that was for the branch pickup. And we also made an announcement at the public tax forum. And so after that event, we saw an increase about 200 people. So we're making headway, but we just got to do better. And so you will see more of us at events. Please refer to me as the rave guy moving forward. So it should be a fun challenge, and we look forward to it. So I have some flyers up there, so please feel free. If you scan the QR code, that's how you sign up for it. Yes, sir.
Just out of curiosity, when you guys close all the streets and you have Homewood Fest, or I think what it is.
Absolutely.
Would they be able to get out the neighboring suburbs like Chicago Heights where I live, so I can avoid it and get around?
If you subscribe to Homewood, you can definitely get those notifications.
Okay, all right, that'd be good, because
Awesome.
I don't think that's out to the public.
Awesome.
Thank you. And if you show up with a question, yes, ma'am.
So I provide services in Homewood, although I'm not a resident. My question for this would be, how would this work for people with disabilities? Because that is the population I service in your community. So my population cannot see. So how are they enrolled in a program that they cannot see?
Okay, so that's a great question. So if I can get your contact information and we can work on something to get that, I think that's a great point. Yep, and they also do have voice where it can call if you have any issues, but signing up, I understand, would be the key point. Yeah, I'm up for it.
And if you show up at someone's door, do they have to feed you?
If they choose to, I'm never gonna turn down a free meal, but
Okay.
not necessary at all.
Okay, we'll hear more about it as the program evolves.
Yes.
And you'll keep everyone apprised.
Absolutely.
We particularly want to know what the signups, yeah, what your goal is. 5,000
19,000,
households.
don't quote me, no, please.
Okay,
Thank you.
thank you, Terrence.
Thanks, Greg.
Thank you.
Oath of office. Ms. Sikowski.
So tonight we are doing an oath of office for Valerie Spada. Valerie was initially hired as a part-time finance clerk with the village on February 7th, 2023. She adapted to the part-time position very quickly. Her customer service skills are top-notch, and she's always willing to assist in all areas. And that has really made her a critical part of our finance team. Recently, Valerie took on some additional responsibilities with our business license and business operations certificate process. So with those responsibilities, along with some other additional tasks that may be tied in with lead service line and just in general, her overall value that she adds to the village, we thought it would be in everyone's best interest to make an offer for a full-time position to Valerie. So she started in her full-time position on July 1st. We'd like to please welcome Valerie forward to take her oath of office.
I state your name. I, Valerie Spada, having been appointed to the office of finance clerk, for the village of Homewood, do solemnly swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States, the Constitution of the State of Illinois, and the municipal ordinances of the village of Homewood, and that I will faithfully discharge the duties of the office of the finance clerk, according to the best of my ability.
Come again. Good show.
It's appropriate for this next guy.
Mr. Haney?
Mayor and Board, I'm going to introduce someone who needs no introduction. With the retirement of John Schaefer, the Director of Public Works after 42 years of service, the position of Public Works Director briefly became vacant. Josh was currently the Assistant Public Works Director, and we knew we had a gem in our midst. So I spoke with John extensively. John spoke with me extensively. And I asked John, I said, is Joshua up for the challenge? And John said, absolutely. So as of June 28th, we made an offer to Joshua and he accepted as our new Public Works, the position to be our new Public Works Director. Prior to coming to Homewood as the Assistant Public Works Director, Joshua enjoyed over 9 years of experience in the public works environment and was previously employed by the Village of Orland Park as Utilities Operations Supervisor. Joshua is a Homewood resident. Joshua is married to his wife, Elizabeth, and has 2 golden retrievers, Molly and Wrigley. That's important for some reason. Holly and Wrigley. Yes, see how important that was? So we welcome Joshua. Joshua was baptized by fire after being here, after being in the position only 3 weeks. We had our first EF1 tornado, which Joshua and his team responded to and performed valiantly. I mean, they got the work done. It was amazing to watch him work. So we're happy and pleased to present Joshua Berman as our next Public Works Director.
I state your name.
I, Joshua Berman,
Having been appointed to the office
having been appointed to the office
of Director of Public Works
Director of Public Works
for the Village of Homewood,
for the Village of Homewood,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support
that I will support
the Constitution of the United States,
the Constitution of the United States,
the Constitution of the State of Illinois,
the Constitution of the State of Illinois,
and the municipal ordinances of the Village of Homewood,
and the municipal ordinances of the Village of Homewood,
and that I will faithfully discharge
and I will faithfully discharge
the duties of the office of Director of Public Works.
faithfully discharge
The duties
the duties
of the office
of the office
of Director of Public Works
of the Director of Public Works
according to the best of my ability.
to the best of my capabilities.
You bet. Ms. Major, the omnibus vote.
Item A, the board is asked to approve the reappointments of Jack Hireman, and Kalinda Preston to the Appearance Commission for a 3-year term ending July 23, 2027, and Terry Kiger and Craig Smith to the Economic Development Committee for a 2-year term ending on July 23, 2025. Item B, the board is asked to award a bid to Jones Environmental Control, Inc. of Mokina, Illinois, the lowest responsible bidder in the amount of $41,878 to replace the HVAC rooftop unit located at the Village of Homewood Auditorium, located at 2010 Chestnut Road. The unit has been in service for over 15 years and is in dire need of replacement. Item C, authorize the village manager to engage the services of Advanced Sweeping Services of Rockford, Illinois, the lowest responsible and only bidder for contract sweeping services for 5 residential and 15 commercial sweeps in an amount not to exceed $8,366.66 per residential sweep and $833.33 per commercial sweep. Item D, the board is asked to waive competitive bidding due to the technical nature of the project, which made competitive bidding impractical Authorize the purchase of 10 Color Kinetics red, green, blue, white lights and 1 Farrell's controller from Chicago Lightworks of Lisle, Illinois, for an amount not to exceed $27,228. Item E, the board is asked to waive competitive bidding due to only 1 vendor being available. The village attempted to bid this project but received no responses. The board is asked to approve a contract with FH Passion of Chicago, Illinois for the purchase and installation of Tivoli lights along both sides of Martin Avenue from Chestnut Road to Martin Square in the amount of $170,978.94, with a contingency amount of $8,000 to cover the costs for any unforeseen and or underground construction issues for a total amount of $178,978.94. Item F, the board is asked to waive competitive bidding due to the technical nature of this project made competitive bidding impractical. The board is asked to authorize the village president to enter into an agreement with Rhoda Signs of Linwood, Illinois, for the purchase and installation of illuminated public parking lot signs and parking directional signs in the amount not to exceed $64,463. Item G, the board is asked to authorize the village president to enter into an amendment to the redevelopment agreement with Wind Creek, Illinois, LLC.
Thank you, terrific. 2 trustees have asked that item D be deferred, so we will take item D off this evening for consideration. We will discuss that at a later time. Comments or questions from anyone in the audience with regard to all the items other than item D? Yes, ma'am, the redevelopment agreement.
Yes, sir.
Our village attorney will give you an overview on that, please.
So what's happening tonight, just to back up, the Village of Homewood, the Village of East Hazel Crest, and the developer Wind Creek Casino have a redevelopment agreement that's already in place. The only practical change to this tonight is rather than doing it all as one project with the 1 hotel tower, they're breaking that up, so there's a potential for them to have a second hotel tower and potentially expand the parking. And also, there's an entertainment venue that they originally talked about putting in the first phase that's actually being delayed. So what's being built right now is going to be the same, but potentially in the future, they're essentially splitting the project into 2 is what. So there's a phase 1 that, as everybody sees as they're driving down Halsted Street right now. They're just breaking this up into 2. So the entertainment venue, that's going to be down the road as opposed to happening right now. It's important to know, other than the parking garage, everything that's happening on this site is north of 174th Street, which is actually in East Hazel Place. So the second hotel tower and those kind of things, if they get built, would be on the north side there. So that's the practical effect of what's happening tonight with this amendment. There's no other changes to the compensation or anything else in terms of the division of tax revenues or how the developer is getting compensated.
Okay. Any other questions with regard to any items? If not, Trustee Willis.
No other questions.
Trustee Harris Jones.
Nothing else. for me.
Trustee Heiferman.
No question.
Trustee Roman.
No questions.
Trustee Opeth.
Just a quick question, as far as the auditorium having the HVAC system replaced, is there any way that money, the grant money that's gonna be coming through could have been used instead of using 41,000?
I can answer. So the grant funding that we're receiving through DCEO is not it's not a reimbursed, it's not a reimbursement amount. So we wouldn't be able to purchase anything and then be reimbursed for the cost of that purchase.
Okay.
It would only apply to some of the infrastructure that we at the time purchased. So that's the only reason why we didn't include it as part of this grant funding.
Okay, and I know that there were some concerns about the funding for the Tivoli lights that are going to finish from Martin Avenue Square on down. I think it's important to be able to show that that is ARPA. Is that ARPA funding?
Correct.
Okay, so that is something, if I don't know if we need to continue that conversation or just to let everyone know that that is something that is, that has been funded elsewhere?
May I have a motion to approve the items on the consent agenda with the exception of item D?
So moved.
Second,
Been moved by trustee Roman, seconded by trustee Harris Jones. Roll call, please.
Trustee Willis,
aye.
trustee Harris Jones.
Aye.
Trustee Hyperman.
Aye.
Trustee Roman.
Aye.
Trustee Open.
Hi,
Consent agenda is approved. New business, liquor license, discussion for Mitchell and Michaels, any de jour. Ms. Zukowski again.
Mitchell and Michael's Plat du Jour has requested a Class 4A liquor license for the former Culture location at 18031 Dixie Highway. A Class 4A liquor license allows for the retail sale of any alcoholic liquor for on-premises consumption only for establishments with a bar. No more than 25% of the annual gross receipts can be from alcohol sales. The Liquor Commissioner is in support of issuing the requested license. Mitchell and Michaels has purchased the building at 18031 Dixie Highway and are preparing to open in September this year. If the board is in favor of the request, staff will be directed to begin the liquor license application process. After Mitchell and Michaels Plat du Jour successfully completes all of the steps required for obtaining a Village of Homewood liquor license, an ordinance to increase the number of allowed Class 4A liquor licenses will be brought to a future board meeting for approval. I invite the applicants to please come forward and they can answer any questions the board may have.
Come on up. Come on up. For the audience's sake, this man is the chef. And he is terrific.
First of all, I want to thank you guys for having me here. The Marriott's team been very helpful and unbelievable, the support that we've been getting. And I'm very happy and proud to be a part of the Homewood community, and hopefully we get it open by September. I've been in the food business for 47 years, been doing it. You name it, I can do it. So we just so you know, I have a catering business called Catering by David. So that will continue up under the umbrella of Mitchell and Michaels. So I say that to say this: if you don't feel like cooking on Thanksgiving and Christmas, I'm open. You can get your come by. But the thing about Thanksgiving, by September the 20th, I'm already booked up. So that's the thing about that. I get booked up easy on Thanksgiving. But we have good food. We're gonna give you guys good service, and that's what we're gonna do. And Chris Michaels wasn't able to make it today, but he's gonna be in charge of entertainment. We're gonna have comedy shows once I close the restaurant up. We probably won't be open to about 11 miles, be 11 to 7, 11 to 8. And then a couple of days out the week, we have comedy shows in the evening. Okay.
He's selling himself short when he says he has good food. It's excellent food.
Yeah.
He was kind enough to have brought samples into the village staff, and I'll tell you, it was terrific.
Thank you.
So I'm looking forward to your opening.
Thank you. I'm looking forward to serve you guys. So trust me, I don't take anything personal. Something, if you ever come to the restaurant, something's not right, come tell me. We're gonna make it right. We're gonna make it right. But what my philosophy is, I don't serve anything that I won't eat or serve my family. So, that's my philosophy. So if I won't eat it, I'm not serving it. If I don't feed it to my kids, I won't serve it. So you don't have to worry about that. But it's going to be a cafeteria type where you can come in and see the food, order it, you can take it out, or you can stay in and eat it. It's up to you how you want to do it. We're going to make it real easy for you. Any questions, anything that I can help you with? Yes, ma'am. Oh, we got about 180. You can bring the whole family and cousins and everybody. We can bring everybody. You can have your family reunion there. I shut it down. I shut the restaurant down that day. You can do a wedding day. We're gonna do it all. And we're gonna have a big grand opening. We're gonna invite all you guys, come on out. We're gonna be nice and yeah. So we do, like I say, up under that umbrella, we're still gonna be doing the catering. So if you ever need catering for a wedding, anything, we can do it. Yeah. So Yes, ma'am.
Go ahead.
Take reservations or?
No, this is just gonna be come on in and
Okay.
it's not gonna be a sit down. That's what I don't want to do.
Okay.
Because of it's hard to get good help and I don't want to make that kind of impression. We have to go, you've been in these restaurants where half of the section is closed because nobody came to work. I'm not trying to do that, but I will have enough staff to deal with the plating of what you need and either package it up or put it on a plate where you can sit down and watch TV or whatever you want to do.
Okay, thank you.
Mr. Haney wanted to know if you had an all you can eat section.
You know, I'm gonna have, on Sundays, once a month, my plan is to have a brunch. That's your all you can eat. On Sundays, all you can eat brunch, and you're gonna have the top of the line of shrimp and grits, chicken and waffles. Yeah, so we're gonna have it all, whatever you want, I can make. That's not a problem. Yes, ma'am.
What does everybody, oh, I'm
Okay.
sorry. What does everybody?
Well, see, everybody asks me that, but everything, you know, and I'm not just saying this, everything is good. You know,
It's
and
delicious.
you know,
It's
you go to some events and I've been at these events and they come and tell me this. He said, you know, you go to events, maybe a couple of things is good and then the rest of it's just okay. People have come to me and say everything is good. So, you know, like me and my crew, we do it with love. We don't mess around. We don't just we don't send anything out. We don't do it like that.
Okay, David.
Yes, sir.
Comments?
Yes, ma'am.
Any more comments? Trustee Willis, Trustee Harris Jones,
Thank you.
we're working our way down. Hey, Trustee Heiferman,
Sounds great.
Trustee Roman.
No, I'm very excited
Yes.
for you to.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You was
for-
gonna ask a question?
I do have a
Yes.
question. Well, first of all, I have to say, I am so grateful that you're coming into town. Thank you so much. I know it's gonna be absolutely fantastic. I can't wait to take my husband. Just quickly, as far as, are you gonna be doing anything different with the space?
Well, we're gonna lighten it up some and we're gonna do some little test some stuff down and yeah,
Okay.
we're gonna,
And
yeah.
how's it gonna work with, so people can go ahead and have their food plated and then go to the bar and get.
Yeah, you can go to the bar. We have someone, we'll have a couple of waitresses for the bar. You can go to the bar as well, because the bar is very long, big bar. But far as you just come in line and just order your food and you can get it here, you can get it for here to go. And we got a lot of seating, a lot of tables where you can just go relax and have your meal.
And how's your peach cobbler?
Well, it's really good.
All right.
It's really, well, I can tell you how good it is.
Yes.
Saturday and Sunday, I gotta make 18 of them.
Okay.
That's how many I got going out with the orders that I gotta do this weekend. So yeah, it's pretty good.
May I have a motion to direct staff to bring us forward a class 4A liquor license?
So moved.
Second,
It's been moved by trustee Willis, seconded by trustee Roman. Roll call, please.
Trustee Willis,
Aye.
trustee Harris Jones,
Aye.
trustee Heiferman.
Aye.
Trustee Roman,
aye.
trustee Open.
Hi.
Motion is approved. General board discussion, trustee Willis,
Nothing for me.
trustee
Oh,
Harris,
I got nothing for me.
trustee Heiferman.
I just want to recognize once again, Public Works and the entire village staff from the events of last week, and also just a recognition of the difficult time that people have had, people without power, people with damage, property damage, landscape damage, and it'll be a big cleanup effort, and the village is on it.
Trustee Roman,
No, I echo everything that trustee Hyperman said, but I have nothing to add.
trustee Oakley.
I have to echo the same. Thank you so much. I mean, you really did comfort the people that were just so stunned by what happened, and same with police and fire being out there as well. Whoever came up with the idea for the food trucks was brilliant, and I feel very fortunate that I was there for a short time, handing out the tickets so people could get food, some food, because some people still did not have power on Friday. So this happened on Friday, and how thankful and grateful, and so shout out to the whole team. Thank you so much.
Trustee Open, that was Marla Youngblood. who
Well, I was just gonna say,
Rockstar,
I was told that
rockstar.
it was Marla and Josh combined, and I just want to point out that they are both Homewood residents, both without power themselves, and thought of all of our community members as a whole and something that they could do for everybody else while they were dealing with it
Yeah,
themselves.
bravo. Thank you. Thank
In
you.
addition to Public Works, we'd be remiss if we didn't compliment ComEd as well. They really responded to the situation. There were crews from everywhere. We saw their trucks, and our hats off to ComEd as well as our Public Works and also the Public Works departments that assisted you. Which towns were involved?
We had Orland Hills out, Orland Park, Midlothian, Bayless, and Hickory Hills.
Again, our thanks to them also.
Thank you. Thank
With
you.
that, may I have a motion to adjourn, please?
So moved. Oh, so sorry.
Sorry, I wanted to bring up one thing if that's possible. I'm sorry, I'm not too good with politics here, but we have been trying to open a business for quite a while. And first, the zoning commission delayed us once, and we were supposed to hear this tonight, but Noah said because it wasn't put on the docket for tonight, that it can't be discussed, and we're trying to open Relax Massage. And she has a contractor ready to work on this and start building it and start demolition and everything.
We can only deal with the matters that are on our agenda.
Okay, that's all I wanted to know. I just wanted to let you know also that we have been delayed a long time, and I just don't think
Okay.
it's.
You can talk to, are you familiar with? Okay. Okay,
All right, well, that's all we needed, sir. I'm sorry to interrupt your meeting.
that's all right.
Thank you.
All right. We had a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Roll,
Second.
roll call, please. Then moved by trustee Open, seconded by trustee Roman.
Trustee Willis,
Aye.
trustee Harris Jones,
Aye.
trustee Hyperman,
Aye.
trustee Roman,
Aye.
trustee Obit.
Hi.
We stand adjourned. Thank you all.
Thank you.
Ms. Flores, envelopes for you guys from the fire department.
What a mission.
A lot happened tonight.
Yeah. Mark open.
Be a little bit. They know more about
Okay.
Yeah.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Rosemary Hyperman. Got him, got him. I'm gonna get you on May 14th. Yeah.
Myself and trustee Willis, that is there an opportunity for us to,